Hello, and welcome to EdCamp Garden State Reflection with Hey Matt Fratt. I used to reflect in a written blog, but I prefer vlogging now. So this vlog will be in three parts: takeaways, story time, and meta. Let's start with takeaways. I've been recently at EdCamp, so I've been doing less of going to sessions and more of chatting in the hallway with organizers. And I did quite a bit of that this time, and there was a lot of organizers too. So there's a ton of people to talk to. And this was more of a giveaway than a takeaway, but one of my objectives was to plug VedChat, this new project that me and are working on and going to the slam, and I think we got at least 3 people who were interested in it. It's Tuesday, by the way. It's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just go to www.vedchat.com. You can actually go there now and see last week's VedChat. It's just teachers talking, teaching on video. So let's move on to story time. And the way I do this is I just go to the Twitter feed. I look down the list, and if I think of a story, I tell the story. So start with Dan Weiland. God, this guy is an innovator, and I'm going to get back to that in 1 second. Stacy Lindy's, I met her for the first time. She's just such good energy, so fun to talk to. And I've met about half the EdCamp New Jersey team by now, and that's quite a team. I mean, that's 400 people. I mean, that's off the chain. I met Mrs. Music for the first time. It was really neat. There was this poetry session, and it was like kind of EdCamp magic, because like she's sort of facilitating, they're talking about poetry, and like she's like condensed an activity. She had written there was a poem that was written, and she's like, well, let's give this poem a name. And she reads the poem, and everybody in the group tries to name it. I just thought that was awesome. They just like invented that on the spot. And Mrs. Music came to VedChat at least once, probably twice. So I appreciate that. Chris Baker was there. I met him for the first time. Saw him in the Flipgrid session, and I really appreciated it because he really wanted to talk about use cases. And there's a lot of use cases for Flipgrid that we don't even know about, and it was really fun to talk about that. He as well came to VedChat. I was really grateful for that. Saw Eric Fieldman. Third time I've seen Eric Fieldman this year. Saw him at EdCamp Penn, EdCamp Revolution, and now EdCamp Garden State. Also saw Larry Juarez, who I also met. I mean, EdCamp Penn, there were so many all-stars there, like Larry, Eric, Chris Hitchcock, Jacqueline. I mean, just so many really, really neat people. Met, and I'm really bad with last names because I don't know last names. Kathy Kurznowski was there. Such amazing energy, so fun. And putting on like the best named EdCamp Happy Camper. How great is that? I can't go, unfortunately, because of school stuff, but I just thought that was pretty awesome. Her first name, but she's awesome. It's at R Smith Ignite. I'm not going to guess what the R is. I think I know, but I don't want to guess. Anyway, I just really appreciated her. She's a special ed teacher. She brought students. Like nobody, I don't even do that. I've never done that. And I've been to a bunch of these things, and I thought that was really great. Her energy was, she's like a hard ass special ed teacher. Like I may have misunderstood her a few times, but like and hard ass is too strong. I mean, she's like a really strong young teacher who like little things, like she insists that people greet each other properly, and just like little things, like she sweats details. I just thought that was pretty cool. Jennifer Duda was there. I was giving her a hard time about her handle because it's Dynamic Duda 338. I love Dynamic Duda, but I was like, why did you have nobody has numbers at the end of the? It's actually there's reason for it. It's her room number is room 338, so it's not, it's pretty cool. And she showed up to a VedChat, and I was really grateful for that. Christopher Harris was there. One funny story about him was, so it was the second session, and as is the custom, the chairs were not in a circle. So I'm sitting there, literally, this was funny. I'm sitting there on my computer because I know Dan, and I'm messaging Dan on Twitter, like, Dan, next year, you really want to put the chairs in a circle before and as I'm writing that message, Christopher walks in, and he just starts putting the chairs in a circle. And I'm like, I get this like sheepish look, like, ooh. And I get up and I help put him in a circle. It was just really funny. Brian Kulak I met for the first time. He gave me a shout out at the beginning, which I thought was really, really thoughtful. Sharon Serrano was there. It took me a while to figure out her Twitter thumbnail. It's I love math. It took me a while to figure that out. Kathy Finkelborn and Kim Loudon were there. I've seen their tweets on Twitter. What I appreciated about both of them was like, I knew 3 people. I knew Eric, Larry, and Dan. That's it. And I enjoy talking to strangers, but people like talking to their friends a lot of the time, but they were really kind, and they talked to me even though they couldn't pick me out of a lineup. So I really appreciated that. Mary Dominiak was there. More on her later. It has to do with a musical instrument. And Sarah Whitman was there. Just wonderful energy. And I tell you that she was at that poetry session, and that was honestly, that was like what everything Ed Camp should be. Like, it was just purely collaborative, super great energy. Everybody, a lot of like give and take, and nobody dominating the conversation, and you know, I mean, I don't think it was an accident, because I think it was all English teachers, and like that's what they do, is sit in a circle and talk. So, but anyway, it was just, and it was outside, which was awesome. So that was a really great session. David Walsh was there. Love his handle, Physistry. Physics and chemistry, get it? Isn't that awesome? Mark Brundle was there. Congratulations, Mark, on your new job. He's working, I think, for a game company now. And thanks, Mark. Like he came up to me. I don't think this has happened before in EdCamp. He came up to me. And then, usually I'm like introducing myself to people because I don't know anybody, but he came up to me and introduced himself. I thought that was just awesome, and I really appreciated that. Jen Marisi, I hope I don't get this wrong, because I met a lot of people. I think she told this great story about how I think she'd taken 8 weeks off of work to take care of a kid. And it's kind of like, you know, that inmate who gets released from the jail and like doesn't understand cell phones. Like, G Suite happened when she was away. Like, she didn't know. And I think she took all the certification course, and she's all caught up and stuff. I just thought it was cool, like someone who could take time off, come back. And as tech coaches, like, we get punished more than anyone, maybe. You know, an English teacher, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird is not going to change that much over 8 years, but like, surprise, you know, here's Google, you know, on the scene. So I thought it was an interesting story. And Meredith Martin was there, Geeky Teach, and I remember meeting her in January of 2012. She came to the very first EdCamp DC on a nasty day, and I've been to a lot of ed camps. This was my 32nd, I think. She conservatively estimated that this was her 70th or more. And I just remember in 2012, she had 3D printed her Twitter handle, Geeky Teach. And back then I was like, this is crazy voodoo sorcery. Like, what is this 3D printing you speak of? Like, I was way, you know, she's just, seems like she's, you know, thinking way, way outside the box. And I thought that was pretty cool. Good to see her again. Okay, so now for part 3, which is meta, where we talk about EdCamp itself. I don't know what's in the water in Collingswood, New Jersey, but there are more connected teachers at that school than I've ever seen. I'm like one of maybe 1.5 or 2 or 3 connected teachers in my school. And there's like 20 or some ridiculous. Like, everybody there has 1,000 or more Twitter followers. Like, every teacher there, almost every teacher. And that can't be an accident. And I talked to Dan. Maybe it's Dan and Larry's influence as they were tech coaches there, or maybe it's just the water. I don't know. But I'm just saying it was ridiculous how connected they are. And the outdoors, and I think Dan had a lot to do with some of these ideas. The outdoor sessions were phenomenal. Really appreciated them. Having the slam that was really different. Instead of the one big slam at the end, they did 3 slams distributed during the day, like 3 45-minute slams. I went to at least one of them. I went to one of them, and it was different. And I think the rationale was like the slam's kind of an awkward way to end the day. This is sort of a more, and a lot of sessions turn into slams anyway, where people just talk about tools. So it worked. It really did. And I loved the ending with a party. Like, it was like a little party. There's food trucks, and Mr. Softy or something came, and like, or didn't come, or one of them didn't come. I don't remember. I just know the food was good, and the kicker was there was live violins. Oh, but wait, there's more. They were organizers. Right, organizers were playing. 2 violinists were. There's pictures. Go check it out. I mean, it was just like that was like the capper of an already amazing day. So thank you to everyone. I really enjoyed meeting everybody there. Thank you to the organizers for putting it together. I look forward to being there next week. And don't forget VedChat, vedchat.com. That's vedchat.com. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. I think it's got legs. I think it's going to make it through the summer. So we hope to see you there, and we'll see you next time.